Hello, everyone. Dr. Vicky here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center. We are going to be looking at the Numerology and Kabbalah of the month of July 2024. But before we get started on that, I want to welcome all my new subscribers. Welcome, welcome. This is a wonderful community, a bunch of stargazers, plant lovers, seekers of all ilk come to this channel. So welcome, and to my tried and true blues, thank you for supporting me all these years. We'll do the astrology of this upcoming week, I think, in a separate video. So if you're looking for that, that will come next. So let us jump right into the month of July. All right, so we're looking at the numbers and the tree of life for the month of July. So as we do every month, the first number we look at is the universal year vibration. And if you go through each month, Astro Kabbalah, I try to say something a little bit different about this vibration. But the universal year vibration is an 8, and 8 is the number of balance and power, and balance of power, perhaps. It is associated in the tarot with the Strength card. And the Strength card really speaks to an enlightened energy, an energy where the Kundalini has risen up to the third eye, where we have control over our lower nature. So our divine nature has control over our lower nature, which indicates that there's a connection between our divine nature and our bestial nature. And that connection is open and functioning, okay? Now, 8 emphasizes the areas of career, business, finance, and authority. It balances the material with the spiritual. If you take an 8 and put it on its side, we have infinity. So even in the nature of the 8 is the mystery of the 8. On the tree of life, it occupies the path that connects Geburah, which is over here. It's the red circle, or the red Sephiroth. Sephiroth means emanation, which is the Sephiroth of Mars, with Hesed, the Sephiroth of Jupiter, which is over here. And we can see as the month starts, we have Mars in Taurus moving into Gemini, and now Jupiter is completely in Gemini, and will be in Gemini for a year, just moved in at the end of May. This path where you see the number 2024, this is the path, is the 19th path on the tree of life, and it is called the intelligence of the secret of all spiritual activities. Located energetically in the throat chakra, the place of co-creation and spiritual will. It is in the throat chakra that we move aside our own personal will to be a conduit of divine will. And that divine will that I speak of is not some God sitting on a cloud somewhere with a long white beard. The divine I speak of is the divine that lies within each and every one of us. Okay, our connection to source, our connection to God, our connection to whatever you want to call it, goddess, Jesus, Buddha, lies within. It's within the inner world, our connection to the source. We are here for a purpose on planet Earth. And if we can keep those channels open and stop fighting ourselves, we would get a whole lot more done, a whole lot quicker, I think, and become more and more enlightened, which is the whole point of this journey. It is the place of balancing the act of growing and cutting away the extraneous. Hesed is the Sephiroth of growth. It is connected with Jupiter. Jupiter is an energy of growth. And it is in a balance opposite the Sephiroth of Mars. And Mars, the symbol for Gebura, which is where the Sephiroth I speak of, is the sword, So this is cutting away the extraneous. Gebura is also the place of instant karma, and 8 is a karmic number. 8 is as you sow, so shall you reap. It says the whole thing. And so in this 8 vibration, we will see a lot of people come to the end where they can only go so far before they have to come back to the middle, right? So that is the energy of the year. This is also the energy of as you sow, so shall you reap. And this is associated with the sign of Leo. Now we do have this month, the sun moving into Leo. We will have Mercury in Leo, and we will also have Venus in Leo. So it makes, it brings that 8 energy even more power. And of course, Leo is the sign of self-expression, right? It is the sign of creative self-expression. It's also the sign of ego. So we will hear a lot of people spouting, and we will know whether it's coming from their lower or their higher self. You just have to listen to what they say, right? Okay. All right. So we are in a 7-year and 7 month, right? July is the 7th month. And if last year, which 2023, which as I remember was a challenging year, we were in a 7-year. So there's something about last year that sort of brought forth in this year. The month vibration for July is a 7. 7 is the number of the philosopher. The number 7 is the seeker, the thinker, the searcher of truth. The 7 doesn't take anything at face value, always trying to understand the underlying hidden truths. The 7 intuitively knows that nothing is what it seems. And we have to keep that in mind, because this month, nothing will be as it seems. Nothing will be as it seems. On the tree of life, the path of the chariot, the vibration of the 7, and also connected to the sign of Cancer, is located right over here. Now, the tree of life is separated, well, you can separate it, it's all connected, but you can sort of symbolize different things on it. And there's something known as the 3 pillars. We have the middle pillar, or the pillar of transformation, also known as the pillar of the present. The pillar of the past, or the pillar of mercy. This is the masculine side of the tree. And then the pillar of severity, or the feminine side of the tree. This is the pillar of the future. So when we are in a 7 vibration, we are totally in the future. But you can only create the future by being in the present, right? But we are planning ahead. This is a planning ahead time. And of course, 7 is a vibration of evaluation and analysis. It is a time of rest, where you sort of rest and see what you have wrought, what you have learned, how you make sense of it, until we can move into the next vibration. I apologize for my bird who's screaming in the other room. There's nothing I can do about it. He's a macaw. And we are in the month of self-expression, so here you go. Shh. Pipe down. We'll see how that goes. He moaned at me. Okay. This connects Bina, the Sephiroth of Saturn. Saturn is in Pisces. In fact, Saturn just turned retrograde on the 29th of June. So it just turned before it went into July. It turned, right? Okay, so we have Bina, which is the Sephiroth of understanding, connected to Saturn, and Gebura again, connected to Mars, planet Mars. And so this Saturn Mars energy here. So it is the Sephiroth of Saturn and the Sephiroth of Mars. This is called the 18th path on the tree of life, the intelligence of the house of influence. It is where the soul takes on the armor of the personality to accomplish the soul's purpose. Okay. Seven always asks the questions, why? And so we can ask ourselves, why am I here? Why am I here at this time? What is my purpose at this time? How can I fulfill my part in the grand plan? This is fully located in the pillar of the future and is associated with the sign of Cancer, as I said. Now, the sun is going to be in Cancer as we start this month. Mercury is in Cancer and Venus is in Cancer. So the two numbers represented astrologically have the sun, Venus, and Mercury in those signs at this month. That doesn't always happen, but it's happening now. Okay. And then if we add these two vibrations together, we get the 15-6 vibration. This is the devil card in the tarot. This happens to be the Thoth deck, devil. And it is actually located here on the tree of life. It is one of the paths that cross the veil of Paraketh that separates the lower self from the higher self. The higher self is actually located in Tiphereth. The lower self and the Sephiroth of Mercury is down here. This is Hod, and this is the path. So it connects our mind, our reasoning mind, with our hearts, okay? And energetically, our solar plexus, where Hod sits, Hod is reason to our heart, okay? The personal qualities associated with the 15 are peace, stability, and boundary. 15 holds firm in its values. Those who associate with this number are like shepherds, are shepherds, like shepherd-like individuals who protect those that depend upon them. On the tree of life, it connects Tiphereth, the Sephiroth of the sun, as I said here, with Hod, the Sephiroth of Mercury, known as and called the 26th path on the tree of life. It is called the renewing intelligence. This path, on this path, you must overcome your attachment to the limitations of your mind, which say there is only darkness. There's only darkness. The devil in the tarot and associated with the sign of Capricorn. Now we are having a full moon in the sign of Capricorn. I have Aquarius here, but that is incorrect. It's Capricorn. In fact, did I say full moon? Full moon, yes, we're having a full moon in Capricorn. We're having it at 30 degrees of Capricorn, and this is actually the second full moon in Capricorn, because we had toward the end of June, we had a new moon at 1 degree or 2 degrees of Capricorn, a full moon at 2 degrees of Capricorn. Then we have the new moon at 15 of Cancer. And then we have another full moon at 30 degrees. And so we have full moons acting like parentheses this summer here up in the northern hemisphere, winter in the southern, with a new moon in Cancer in between. So there is this Cancer and Capricorn in astrology really does speak to us of authority and security, emotional security in Cancer, physical, social security in Capricorn, right? And so it also brings in parenting, the mother-father archetype, the father god, the mother goddess archetype. So it's about authority, and it's also to a certain extent about becoming an authority in your own life. Who knows you better than you? Especially especially if you utilize the other vibrations, such as the 7, know thyself. Okay. So these are the energies of the month. These are the places on the tree of life that are getting activated this month. We are getting activated in the pillar of the future. We are our third eye, our throat chakra, our heart, and our solar plexus, all activated this month. Seeing, connecting our vision with our heart, connecting our personal will with divine will, becoming conduits of light. As you sow, so shall you reap. That's what we're being asked to do this month. All right, so I think I'm going to stop there because I do want to do the astrology, but I think I'm going to do it in a separate video. So let me do something here. All right, well, I hope that is helpful. If you would like to learn more about the Kabbalah, I do teach it. I'm going to be doing a class in the fall, an introduction to Kabbalah. You can take, there are 2 classes. There's an introduction where I talk about the structure of the tree and the different Sephora, and so you can get used to the words that you use, the terms and the like. And then there's a second class where I introduce you to how I work with the Kabbalah, and people find it really intriguing. So if you are interested, there's not a link below, but I do have my email below. If you are interested in becoming a student for that, I will put you on a list so that you get first preference for when I do the class. I find classes like that are best done not in the middle of people's vacation. So that's why I'm going to be waiting till September. But hopefully I'll see some of you there. If you would like a reading with me, I have availability. I think I'm scheduling into August now. But I have availability for hour and hour and a half, hour and 1/2 sessions. If it's your first time, 90 minutes is preferable. We do go over a lot of things. I do your numerology, I look at your Kabbalah, and I look at your astrological chart, and a combination reading that most people find very enlightening. I also pull in the tarot cards if you happen to be somebody who enjoys watching the readers, or you read yourself, and that's the way you connect to this energy. So there are lots of doorways into working with the Kabbalah, and I'm happy to open the door for you. And happy to do a reading. And then if you have a reading and you say, wow, this is really cool, I'd really love to learn how to do this, here's your opportunity. So the class, just email me. There's a link below. If you are interested in a reading, there's also a link below for that. And what else? There was one other thing. Oh, if you would like to become a patron, I do have a Patreon. I do have a Patreon. That's what you say, right? And so that helps me to do the work that I do. Mostly everything that goes on YouTube goes on Patreon. So you get like exclusive week before everybody else kind of thing. Except for now, because I just got to the end of the month and realized I hadn't done July yet. So Patreon and YouTube will get them at the same time. They get the Taroscopes earlier. And when I have the opportunity, I do some special things for my patrons. So I've just been very busy with clients, and I'm very grateful for that. And if you happen to be a client or a new client or an old client, I'm very grateful for all of you. All right, take care, everyone. Have a great month. And I will see you for the astrology of the first week of July, shortly. Take care.